Cher Divo, en quelle langue faut-il parler?
Français, c'est bien.
Français, d'accord. Quel est le verset que Maharaj a commenté hier? Est-ce que c'était 11 ou 12? 11, non?
Alors, c'était, je l'ai noté.
Je croyais que c'était 11, mais j'ai oublié mon notebook. Avec Krishna.
Il y a
11. 11. Donc, oh, si Maharaj est là, peut-être il vaut mieux parler anglais.
Non, oui. Ah oui.
Should we speak English?
Voilà. Shall we do the class in English?
Do it in French.
Do you?
How would you speak French?
Yes, she does.
Do it in French.
We're doing French? Okay.
Would you like a translation?
Non, pas fait.
Okay. So I was thinking first we will read the translation en français. Non. Je pensais que d'abord on va lire la traduction du verset 12 et 13. Il n'y a pas de commentaire. Et puis après on lira Jiva Pavana va nous lire le sanskrit du verset 14. Donc, les prières chez le Prabhupada. Om Adgana Timinandasya Gyanam Shanam Sarakaya Shaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvise Sashunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Charyushri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shakarta Tarubhyasha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Donc, chers dévots,
Translate or do in English?
we do in English.
Because everyone understands.
I'll do it. Everybody speaks English. I will do in English, Maharaj, because everybody speaks English. So first, I want to say how grateful and honored I'm to be with you and to be given a chance to share Srimad Bhagavatam. And this temple, I feel, is becoming every day. The atmosphere is becoming every day nicer and nicer. It's like we can feel devotees caring for each other. We heard this morning all the wonderful book distribution. And it's not easy in France, book distribution. So it seems Shishwada Parishvava, the wonderful Gaunitai, and the Jagadat deities are very, very satisfied by the endeavor, sincere endeavor of all the devotees. So this morning, reading the shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, 12 to 14, it came to a very interesting topic. And it's actually a topic we also discuss in Yoga Lyric. It's actually the topic of prayers. People asking God for some benediction. And yesterday Maharaj was expressing the wish maybe to hear about Holy Dham. So Holy Dhams, they are a place where people come for pilgrimage and they ask benediction to the Lord. So we will try to discuss a little bit about that subject. So first we will read the verses 12 to 14. I just read the translation of verses 12 and 13. So Aditi is addressing Kashyapa, and she's asking, "O beloved husband, the fires, guests, servants, and beggars are all being properly cared for by me. Because I always think of you, there is no possibility that any of the religious principles will be neglected. Verse 13. Oh my Lord, since you are Prajapati and are personally my instructor in the principle of religion, where is the possibility that all my desires will not be fulfilled? So, for the verse 14, I'm going to ask our dear Shilopravana to read the Sanskrit because it's a difficult meter and you will do better than me. Oh,
I'm not
Maharaj.
sure of that, Maharaj, maybe with the good
What is this?
tune, the verse 14.
14.
16, 14.
It's a longer meter.
Tune.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the tune.
Up to you. You choose.
Mhm.
Tava.
Tava.
Eva.
Eva.
Maricha.
Maricha.
Manakshārira.
Manasharira. Japa.
Prajaha.
Prajaha.
Himaha.
Himaha.
Satvarajaha.
Satsvarajaha.
Tamaha.
Tamaha.
Jushaha.
Jushaha.
Samaha.
Samaha.
Bhava.
Bhava.
Tasu.
Tasu.
Asura.
Asura.
Adishu.
Adishu.
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Tata.
Tata.
Api.
Api.
Bhakta.
Bhakta.
Bhajate.
Bhajate.
Maha.
Maha.
Ishvaraha.
Ishvaraha.
Tavaiva Maricha Manakshāriraja.
Daiva Maricha Manashariraja.
Prajayak Sattva Jushaha.
Prajahima
Sattva Samojusha.
Samo Bhavangshtaspa Suradishu Prabho.
Samo
Samojusha. Prabhu.
Tatapi Bhaktam Bhajate Maheshwaraha.
Tadapi Bhaktam Bhajate Maheshwara.
Tavaiva Maricha Manakshāriraja.
Tavaiva Maricha Manashariraja.
Prajayak Sattva Jushaha.
Prajaima Sattva Samojusha.
Samo Bhavangshtas Vasaradishu Prabho.
Samo Bhavanstas Asuradishu Prabhu.
Tatapi Bhaktam Bhajate Maheshwaraha.
Tatapi Bhaktam Bhajate Maheshwara.
Tavaiva Maricha Manakshāriraja.
Tavaiva Maricha Manashariraja.
Prajayak Sattva Jushaha.
Prajaima Sattva Samojusha.
Samo Bhavangshtas Vasaradishu Prabho.
Samo Bhavantas Asuradishu Prabhu.
Tatapi Bhaktam Bhajate Maheshwaraha.
Tatapi Bhaktam Bhajate Maheshwara.
Tavaiva Maricha Manakshāriraja.
Tavaiva Maricha Manashariraja.
Prajayak Sattva Jushaha.
Prajaima Sattva Samojusha.
Samo Bhavangshtas Vasaradishu Prabho.
Samo Bhavanstas Asuradishu Prabhu.
Tatapi Bhaktam Bhajate Maheshwaraha.
Tatapi Bhaktam Bhajate Maheshwara. Tavaiva Maricha Manashariraja.
Tavaiva Maricha Manashariraja.
Prajahima Sattva Tamojusa.
Prajahima Sattva Samojusha.
Samo Bhavantas Asuradishu Prabhu.
Samo Bhavamstas Asuradishu Prabhu.
Tatapi Bhaktam Bhajate Maheshwara.
Tatapi Bhaktam Bhajate Maheshwara.
Tavaiva Maricha Manashariraja.
Tavaiva Maricha Manashariraja.
Prajaima Sattva Samojusha.
Prajaima Sattva Samojusha.
Samobhavam stasasuradishu prabhu.
Samobhavam sasasuradishu prabhu.
Tathapi bhaktam bhajate maheshvara.
Tatapi bhaktam bhajate maheshvara.
Taveva maricha manashadi raja.
Taveva maricha manashadi raja.
Raja hima sattva rajastamo jushaha.
Raja ima sattva samojusha.
Samobhavam treshvasuradishu prabhu.
Samobhavam sasasuradishu prabhu.
Tatapi bhaktam bhajate maheshvaraha.
Tatapi bhaktam bhajate maheshvara.
Vaishnavis.
Tavaiva
Tavaiva
maricha manashariraja.
Raja imam sattva rajastamo jusha.
Raja ima sattva rajastamo
Samobhavam stasasuradishu prabhu.
Samobhavam sasasuradishu prabhu.
Tatapi bhaktam bhajate maheshvara.
Tatapi bhaktam bhajate maheshvara.
Tavaiva maricha manasari raja.
Tavaiva maricha manasari raja.
Rajayima sattvarajastamo jusaha.
Rajayima sattvarajastamojusha.
Samobhavam stasvasuradishu prabhu.
Samobhavam sasasuradishu prabhu.
Tatapi bhaktam bhajate maheshvaraha.
Tatapi bhaktam bhajate maheshvara.
Tavaiva maricha manasari raja.
Tavaiva maricha manashari raja.
Raja ima sattva rajastamo jusha.
Rajayima sattvarajastamojusha.
Samobhavam srisasurdishu prabhu.
Samobhavam sasasuradishu prabhu.
Tatapi bhaktam bhajate maheshvara.
Tatapi bhaktam bhajate maheshvara.
So, synonyms. Tava,
Tava,
your. Eva,
Eva.
indeed.
Indeed.
Maricha,
Maricha,
O son of Marichi.
O son of Marichi.
Manashariraja,
Manashari raja.
born either of your body or of your mind, all the demons and demigods.
Born either of your body or of your mind. All the demons and demigods.
Prajaha,
Raja.
born of you.
Born of you.
Imaha,
Ima,
all of them.
all of them.
Sadvarajatama Jushaha,
Sattvaja Satamajusha.
infected with Sattvagun, Rajagun, or Tamagun.
Infected with
Rajagun, Tamagun.
Samaha,
Sama,
equal.
equal.
Bhavan,
Bhava,
your good self.
your good self.
Tasu,
Tasu.
to every one of them.
To every one of them.
Asura Adishu,
Asura Dishu,
beginning with the Asura.
beginning with the Asura.
Prabhu,
Prabhu,
oh my Lord.
O my Lord.
Tata Api,
Tatapi,
still.
Seed,
Bhaktam,
Bhaktam,
unto the devotees.
unto the devotees.
Bhajate,
Bhajate,
takes care of.
takes care of.
Mahishvara,
Maheshvara,
the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller.
The
Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller.
Translation. O son of Marichi, because you're a great personality, you are equal towards all the demons and demigods who are born either from your body or from your mind, and who possess one or another of the three qualities, Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. But although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller, is equal toward all living entities, is especially favorable to the devotees. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maiteteshu chapi haham. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is equal toward everyone, is especially inclined toward those who engaged in his devotional service. The Lord says, Konteya pratijanti name bhakta pranashyati. My dear son of Kunti, please declare that my devotee will never be vanquished. Elsewhere, Krishna also says, Ye yatamam prapadyante tam stateva bhajamyaham mama vatmanu vatante manusya patasalvasaha. Bhagavad Gita 4:11. Actually, everyone is trying to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead in various ways. But according to their methods of approach, the Supreme Lord endows them with different benedictions. Thus, Aditi appealed to her husband by saying that since even the Supreme Controller favors his devotees, and since Indra, Kashyapa devoted son, was in difficulty, Kashyapa should bestow his favor upon Indra. Namam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prestaya Bhutale, Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta, Swaminiti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravane Prachalini, Nirvisesa Shunyavadi, Ashatyade Satanini. So, just before saying a few words, I'm asking the blessing of Maharaj and all the wonderful devotees. Haribol. So, it's very interesting, this topic about the prayers that the conditioned souls and the great devotees can actually address to the Lord. And it's very interesting to see how he's going to reciprocate. As I said before, Maharaj yesterday was mentioning the parikram in the Holy Dharma. And maybe that we should talk about this parikram. On this parikram, so many souls in India are coming. Thousands of them are just going to pilgrimage. And it's different ways. As devotees, we can actually go to parikram. Some of us, maybe in the beginning of our spiritual life, we are going to the Holy Dharma as spiritual tourists. India is very beautiful, and we go and we want to see these beautiful holy places as spiritual tourists. Some of us, we are going there as pilgrims to offer our obeisances to the Lord, to do austerities. But most of us, because of Prabhupada's mood, because of Prabhupada spreading the mission of Lord Chaitanya, we are going to the Holy Dharma as missionaries. So, going to the Holy Dharma of missionaries, we also can benefit. We can be also spiritual tourists. We can be pilgrims, but as missionaries, we go to the Holy Dharma with Harinam, and we distribute Srila Prabhupada books to the thousands of pilgrims who come to the Holy Dharma to beg the Lord. So a little later on, we're going to talk about this beautiful Holy Dharma that Srila Prabhupada is invited us to. And we are also going to talk, to focus on Tirupati, on Lord Balaji. So in many traditions, a lot of people actually asking prayers to the Lord. They're asking benediction. Prabhupada is quoting, is telling us the example that during the Second World War, many pious ladies were praying to God. You know, most of them were in the Christian tradition, and they were praying to the Lord. They were saying, please, my Lord, for example, in Germany, our husbands, our sons, they've gone to the war. Please make them come back. And on the other side, in France or in England, also the pious ladies, they were praying to God, may our son, may our husband come back. So what can God do? How can he fulfill everyone's prayers? And we can see all these prayers of people who are devotee but very neophyte. They can be in the mode of passion, when we expect something very much in return. They can be in the mode of goodness, when they are a little more pure. And they can also be in the mode of pure devotional service. So who became actually perfect in addressing prayers to the Lord? Who became a Mahajan by addressing prayers? Because it's a way of devotional service. Actually, I was thinking of it before starting the class, and I was thinking, I'm going to ask the devotees. I don't exactly remember who was the devotee who became a Mahajan by addressing prayers. It's Akura, the prayers of Akura. So prayers are very, very important. So when the people actually pray, what is the Krishna, what is the Lord doing? We know that he is in the heart as Paramatma. And we know that as Paramatma is supposed to be impartial, not to interfere with actually the little terrible free will of the living entities. So he's respecting our terrible little free will most of the time. But sometimes he cannot resist. Like in the case of Gopakumar, the Lord told him, for so many lives, actually, I've been waiting for you. Every time you took another body, I was so much hoping that you will turn to me, but you ignored me. So I had to do something. I had to interfere, so to help you come to me. That's the position of the Lord. He wants us more than we do, that we will come to him, that we will stop being in this rotten material world. In these holy places of pilgrimage, people are rushing and they are begging God. They are asking so many things. Sometimes material things, most of the time material things. So let's remember these holy places that Srila Prabhupada wanted us to visit. Even in this lifetime, he sacrificed so much energy to make temple in Mayapur, in Vrindavan. He also wanted a temple in Jagannath Puri. So these holy places, they are very, very unique. So who has been in Jagannath Puri? How will you define what is the mood of Jagannath Puri?
How to define it?
Yeah, what is the mood of that holy dam of Jagannath Puri?
Mood.
Yeah, mood.
Mood.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way of looking at that. Mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah.
Was in his mood is intense separation.
Yes.
The Lord passed into Vrindavan. Can also be seen as a sweet blend of the Odaya Dham and the Madhurya Dham in Mayapur and Vrindavan.
Yeah.
They're both present there.
Yeah.
Lord Chaitanya is very mercifully, his Odaya mood is giving us the spirit or the mood whereby we can enter into Madhurya. So he is very passionate in this devoted spirit, mood of renunciation, mood of separation, which is manifesting there. The mood which is required to enter into Vrindavan. So it's a gateway. We say the Rasayatra festival itself is the journey from to Vrindavan. The whole process is Jagannath Puri is like Jagannath giving us that opportunity to enter or to proceed towards Vrindavan.
Yeah. It's everything Maharaj said. It's everything is there in Jagannath Puri. There is the mercy of Mayapur. There is the sweetness of Vrindavan. And as Maharaj said, it's a land of very, very intense separation. The Lord exhibited the most intense feeling of separation in Gambhira. And it's a mood of intense humility. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was present with his dear associates. And in Jagannath Puri, we remember the Acharya of the Holy Name, Haridas Thakur. Prabhupada, actually, when he brought the devotees to Jagannath Puri, he became very displeased that the Western devotees were not allowed in the temple. And because it's a land of unlimited mercy. And as Maharaj said, Lord Jagannath is coming out for the Rathayatra, as Patita Pavana, to give mercy to everyone. So Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to the priest in Jagannath Puri, very angry letter. He said, do you think Lord Jagannath is only the Lord of Jagannath Puri? He's the Lord of the universe. Mm-hmm. And he said, anyway, he already came out, he already came to the Western devotee. He came to all the temples in the world, and they are Rathayatra all over the world. And from that time on, he refused himself to go in the temple of Jagannath Puri because his devotees were not allowed. So when you go there, it's very funny. I often go with the Russian devotees, and the priests are very frightened of the Russian devotees because there is some scripture in Puri saying that at one point Lord Jagannath is going to leave the temple and he's going to go with the Russian devotees, especially to Siberia.
The scripture there at the temple.
Yeah. Because Siberia is supposed actually to be the land when, before Lord Jagannath appeared, Nila Madhava was actually worshipped by a tribe, the Shabar something. And that's, yeah, and the scripture, they talk that at one point the Lord will leave the big Jagannath Mandir and will follow the Russian devotees. So they're very, very frightened of the Russian.
Did it say that Sabara is linked to Siberia?
That's the rumor. So Prabhupada was very fond of establishing a temple in Mayapur and in Vrindavan, and he sacrificed a lot of energy. For example, in Mayapur, it was very, very difficult. His god-brother didn't want Prabhupada to have a temple where the Western devotees, Mlechas and Yavana will come. And they made difficulties. So Prabhupada sent one of his, smart commander, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, to try to get a land. Somebody agreed maybe to sell a land. And at that time, there was no smartphone. So Prabhupada, for many, many days, didn't get any news of what was happening in getting that land. Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj actually had a lot of money on him. He had a big, big belt with a lot of money hidden. And Prabhupada was worrying so much. Had he been attacked, maybe the money was stolen, maybe he was killed. So every day, even at night, he was waiting. And one day there was a knock on his door, and Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj came in and told Prabhupada, the temple is yours, the land is yours. So Prabhupada had a big, big smile, he was beaming, and then he established the temple that will become the international headquarters in Mayapur. In Vrindavan also it was very, very hard. And Prabhupada had to negotiate with the lady who agreed to give the land in Ramanriti. Maharaj, probably you remember, at this time, Vrindavan was very, very different. There was no cars, just a few rickshaws, not motor rickshaw. And it was a lot of sand, a lot of peacocks. It was very peaceful. You could go on the road and smell the fire from cow dung, and hear the widows in the ashram singing all day, all night, songs for Sitaram. It was, remember, and the smell.
That's some terrible noise. It was those birds, what they call the peacocks. There was,
Yeah.
wherever you go, you hear peacocks.
Peacocks,
It makes
yeah.
so much noise. Now it's so nice you only hear car noise. Video blaring out. It's very, really nice
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
It's almost unbearable with those peacocks.
Oh,
Even me.
yeah, the peacocks were very joyfully
Everywhere,
dancing.
peacocks everywhere. Even right down that temple you hear peacocks.
Yes, yeah. So Vrindavan, of course, is so special. We have Srila Prabhupada, Samadhi, and we have Radha Damodar, where Srila Prabhupada translated Srimad Bhagavatam, where he prayed to Rupa Goswami to empower him to do this impossible mission his spiritual master gave him. We have the temples of the Goswamis. It's just the spiritual world, but it's becoming more and more covered. And we have to go through the external covering to test the sweetness of Vrindavan. And of course, everybody who went, you remember in Vrindavan, everybody's greeting you. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe. Shrimati Radhavani, the mother of devotion. In Vrindavan, we have Srila Prabhupada's house, his garden, the bed where he left his body to go back home, back to Godhead. It's very, very unique. And in Mayapur is the land of mercy. Somebody asked Jai Patak Maharaj, what should we do to progress in Mayapur? He says, you just breathe. And you will just progress, just breathing. So I wanted to, in the topic of praying to the Lord, of going to God and asking Him sometimes some benefit. I wanted to tell you about our last adventures with the Russian group when we went to Tirupati. So Tirupati, for those of you who have not been, is actually a very, very holy, very old city in the south of India. And there is an extraordinary deity called Balaji that is worshipped there. Prabhupada says Balaji, his face is like a child face. Bala, if I'm not mistaken, is for a child also. And people are very, very devoted to Balaji. First, the most frequented place of pilgrimage in the world in the year maybe up to year 56 was the Vatican. Then it became Balaji. Balaji is, in the world is the place where most pilgrims are coming. Then it's Jagannath Puri. So people, they come to Balaji with a lot of, most of them, a lot of material demands. And they are completely convinced that Balaji will fulfill their demands. So the story of Balaji, we won't have time to go very in details with the Lila of Balaji, but just in a small summary, Balaji had to fulfill the prayer of a great, great devotee whose name was Vedavati. She was the daughter of a sage, and she really wanted Krishna to be her husband. Krishna came as Ramachandra, and she wanted him to become her husband. But he said, no, I've taken the vow of having only one wife, Mother Sita. I cannot fulfill your prayer, but in another incarnation, I will come, and you will be my wife. So she became Padmavati. She was born out of a lotus. And in order to marry her, the lila was that Balaji needed a lot of money, a lot of Lakshmi. So he actually asked Kuvera. Kuvera, is the treasurer of the demigod. So he had to ask Kuvera a huge sum of money to have this beautiful wedding. If you have seen a wedding in India, you know how costly the weddings are. It's not like in the West, when it's done very, very quickly, and sometimes nobody comes. For example, when Yamuna got married to Gurudas in America, when Janaki got married to Mukunda in America, Prabhupada just saw the sister coming. The sister became Yamuna. And he says, that's all the family, because in India, you have to invite all the family members, all the friends, so many, and it cost a huge amount of money. So Lord Balaji's pastime was in the position of actually borrowing some money to Kuvera, from Kuvera. And Kuvera said, my Lord, why are you asking me that? You're actually the owner of everything. You don't need to ask to borrow money. But Balaji says, no, it's my special pastime. And all my devotees, they will help me to pay my debt. They will be engaged in paying my debt. So all the thousands of people who are coming every day, they're coming to help the Lord to pay his debt. And they have a special business. So they come and they say, my dear Lord, you become my partner in business. And I promise I will give you a part of my benefits. There are even some contracts. So Balaji, special pastime also, we can see his eyes are mostly covered. And he has a hand like that. So it says that people are coming with so material motives. So he doesn't want to see all the material motives. But he's blessing them. He's giving blessing. He will fulfill, the promise of giving benediction. What happened was that we came with a group of Russian devotees. It was a special group of Russian business devotees. It was they made a club called Arta Forum, and the group was led by Sagar Maharaj and Valmiki Prabhu. So these devotees, they came first with the idea of asking Krishna to become their partner in business, so the business will be successful. And of course, the business was actually meant to spread Krishna consciousness. They came with this motive, they had business plans. When they will reach Balaji, they will show the business plan to the Lord, so it will become successful. And actually, the way Krishna consciousness is spreading now, it's like people who are in a special, with a special goal, they can approach and spread Krishna consciousness with similar people. For example, we have scientists, and they want to preach to scientists. There is a special language, there is a special mentality, a special mood. Even there is a story, a funny story. Some Russian devotees were actually doing a traveling Sankirtan. And they were in a van going to the countryside. And in the middle of the field, they saw a strange person. The person looked like he was dressed like a devotee, had some white bed sheet around him. He had some kind of tilak on his forehead and nose, and some kind of haircut like a devotee. So it was, I forgot which Swami it was. He said, "Stop, we're going to see who he is." So they came to him, they approached him, and they said, "Who are you? Why are you dressed like that?" And that man never saw the devotees before. He said, I got a book about some people called the Goswamis. And I read in the book that every night they slept under a different tree. And I'm a bum. I have no house. So I thought, I'm a Goswami. Because I'm like that, I'm traveling. I sleep in a different place every night. And now I saw we have to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. I saw that in the book. I saw a picture of the Goswami, so I'm dressing like that. And I'm traveling all over Russia. I'm going to my community of homeless people, and I preach to them how to become Goswami. So people, they address other people of their own kind. So this businessmen, they were also doing like that. So when we go to Tirupati, some of us who are fit, not everyone, they have to do austerities. They have to climb more than 3,000 steps. Did you do that, Maharaj? Yeah. Can you tell a little bit about
A
it?
long, long time ago, it takes a long time.
Yes,
About 8 hours or something. Wow.
yes, yeah,
You start at the bottom and so it's these, it's such a long, at least 30 years ago. Like an arch or something. It's not just walking straight up steps, it's sometimes going on, through hills and there are steps going and then more hills. Quite a long distance, I would imagine.
yes.
I don't know, it's a long distance.
I was not allowed to go. I wanted to go. I was not allowed to go.
No, I would do it now.
Yeah, but it's a big
Many
austerities.
hours. I mean, it may not have been 8, but it was many, many hours walk.
Yes, yeah.
Usually we go up by car or bus,
Yeah.
windy road.
Some of us went by car.
Up the side there.
It,
It's
especially,
worthwhile doing, it definitely is.
yeah. Yes, especially it was 40, 42 degrees, very hot. Some devotees went and some of us went by car. But the austerities were not finished. When we reached,
Yeah.
we had to go to some chambers and corridors. And they really looked like jails. Yeah, like it was,
Yeah, but that's to regulate the
yes.
the darshan.
Yes.
Darshan.
Yes, and it took us all day to go through this kind of jail corridors. You couldn't go out if you wanted to go out. There was no way to go out. Thousands of people behind, thousands of people before. So what saved us, we had a wonderful kirtan for hours. And we were feeling it was in the jail of the material world. We were packed there, But when we started chanting the holy name, we felt completely uplifted. Especially, we were looking at each other and giving each other strength. And but it was such austerity. It was very hot, and you would see grillage. Grillage, how do you say? Iron net. You couldn't get out, and big locks. Then you were coming to a chamber. You had to wait for such a long time. Then again into the prison corridors. So everybody was meditating how we are trapped in this material world. And that only the holy name, especially Harinam Sankirtan, can save us. And then, after maybe 6 or 7 hours, the time came to come in front of Balaji. And it was so many people pushing, it was far away. I know for myself, I hardly saw Balaji. After 8 hours, so I wanted to go back to see, and the guards were becoming mad. No, forbidden. But our businessmen devotees, so they showed their business plans to Balaji. But they had a big change of heart. Then the meditation became actually, who are we to ask Krishna to come into our business? It was like they felt like they were like little children in the kindergarten, playing with, doing business with chewing gum balls, Like I give you this chewing gum and you become my partner. And they felt very humbled. We cannot ask Balaji to become our partner and to help us to make profit. But we have to find out what is actually the true, very precious business of the Lord. What does Balaji want? And everybody realized actually what he wants all the conditioned souls to be saved. He wants the conditioned souls to go back home, back to Godhead. So his business is actually the spreading of that message of hope, the spreading of Bhagavad Gita, spreading of Srimad Bhagavatam to tell people they don't belong to this material world, that they don't have to suffer birth, death, old age, and disease, that they should chant the holy name. So everybody actually begged to be a partner servant of the Lord in his Sankirtan mission. So that was really deep, very beautiful change of heart on behalf of the business devotees. And it was a wonderful adventure. So that is what I wanted to share with you regarding going to Holy Dham and regarding how to address prayers to the Lord. Of course, it's better to pray to God than to anybody else. But as we progress, devotees will actually address the Lord in a very selfless mood. And then it will be such a beautiful reciprocation. The Lord will answer, the Lord will reply when the devotees are praying in a very selfless mood. So these were just a few things I wanted to share. So if anybody wants to share any realization or ask any question with Maharaj, we can try to answer.
Have anyone else, you been to Tirupati? Maybe some people who say have been, but
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, can you share your experience?
Before joining Krishna Conscious, I had been several times with family. Of course, my mother took me there with my son while I was carrying the second baby. I got scorpion bite, and the doctors were saying maybe this may lead to labor pain, so better take her to hospital. So actually the month was very less, so my mother was praying, and she said, I have prayed to Balaji that if everything goes well, I'll bring the child there to his dham. So after he was well born, we had been there. So that was like, this was before joining Krishna Conscious. So I had been there just along with my mother, and we had been there. I couldn't realize of course, we used to pray to God sincerely, so we can pray. So last year, it is a community that since after COVID, I joined for the class, online class for Bhagavad Gita. So the Prabhuji, his name is Manishram Dasji. So he arranges then and there for yatra. So once I had been for Vrindavan. So going with all devotees, it is bringing us this divine consciousness together. Similarly to Tirupati also, he took us. We were around nearly 1,000, I think, more than 500, more than 500 we were there. So he arranged for the hotels and everything. Everything goes in good teamwork. So when we had been there, with the help of Maharaj, who is there in Tirupati, ISKCON, he helped us. He came and saw. We were staying there for 3 days. That is Krishna Jayanti. Last year, the day of Krishna Jayanti, we were there. We made program in the mandap, like doing dramas, singing kirtans, and group by group we participate in cooking, everything. So that gave the conscious how to serve for devotees, how to be there. And similarly, as he arranged for us for darshan, in 3 to 4 hours we were able to get darshan. So I went there twice. So really, of course, the people used to say when we enter into that place, that is just before Balaji, when we enter there, we forget everything. Maybe we enter there with the thought of asking for even for material pleasures or something. We'll be going there. I'm going to Tirupati to ask this. And when we go there, I don't know, maybe because of the people pushing there or because of the blessings of, we forget everything. We pray by Johnny Harris had come out with. So that was very, very nice. I don't know what to say, but regarding, because his posture is this way, he used to say that he closes his eyes for saying that he is not partial, he is blessing everyone, and he blesses whoever surrendered to his feet. So the showing of his hand towards his feet is, you surrendered to my feet, I'm always for it. So that was a wonderful experience with the devotees.
I think it was the time we walked up a few times. We were just late. We missed the last darshan. Late now, we hadn't eaten all day. And we got there, so the only thing we could get to eat was Tirupati laddu, which is nothing else is famous.
I forgot to bring. I'll bring them tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, they tell me they're not as big, but in those days the laddus were about this big.
They're still big,
Literally this big.
They're still big, Mama.
Huge.
Yeah.
So we walked on a few of those and we were taking prasadam. You know, we hoped we'd get darshan, but it was too late. All of a sudden, I think maybe we just finished the laddu. Somehow or another, one priest came out and said, and we went straight in. We were like the last people of the day to take darshan.
Oh,
We just stood there for a couple of minutes just in front of the gate. Pretty much no one else there. And it was amazing darshan because it was quiet. No crowds. Prabhupada very much liked their organization, and he told us we should also learn from them how to organize our, because it was foreseeing the future of Mayapur or whatever it may be. Because every day hundreds of thousands of people are coming every single day, of course. More. And he wanted us to learn that system they had in making sure everyone got darshan, at least for a few seconds. Whether he liked the cages or not, it reminded me of New York subway. New York subway. I mean, I don't mean the spiritual aspect, but the material.
Yeah.
And they have an amazing system too. Nobody there actually, at least during the day, maybe at 9:30 at night, they're not open, but otherwise all day long there's prasadam for everyone. It's free. Everyone can take free prasadam, and there's free accommodation for everyone. If you want to stay and don't have any money, there's a place for everyone to eat and stay free of charge.
It's very nice.
Yeah. And if you want to pay money, you can get a whole bungalow for next to nothing. Hundreds and thousands. Did you not stay overnight?
We stayed near the ISKCON temple.
In Tirupati down there.
Yeah.
If we stay on the hill, they've got hundreds, if not thousands, of bungalows scattered around the hill.
It's wonderful.
Beautiful bungalows, and you can rent one. I think it was only like about 20 of us stayed when last time we went. They charge 100 rupees a night, I think, for the whole thing, next to nothing. And very, very nice. And if you just make an arrangement the day before, you have to pay a little bit of money, but not too much. You get the early darshan, 4 o'clock in the morning. And, it's very cheap. Not cheap, I mean, it's very quiet at that time. Not very quiet, but it's a quiet journey.
We go back at Kartik, I will tell the organizer.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I've been there since probably 20 years at least. So it was very wonderful, beautiful place, nice, as you know, very nice hills. Lots many temples around there. Other deities, Shri Ganesh, and many temples on the hills are there. The dome is apparently gold, made of gold.
Oh, yes.
Very solid, but just plated.
That's solid.
Gold.
The devotees were telling us, it says that this big cupola, it's red gold is coming from Vaikunta. And there is a Viman shape, silver. And they say when you see that Viman, you become detached from all the material, desires and everything.
Yeah, very special.
Yeah, very
Richest temple. Most popular temple.
So, and something very funny, Radhanath Maharaj said about Balaji, he said he's the best businessman in the universe. Who could come with such a business plan so excellent that you have a debt, unlimited debt, and people are coming to help you pay the debt. No human being could have such an extraordinary business plan.
You mentioned it earlier, how tens of thousands of businessmen in Bangladesh they have. He's one of the directors of their business that you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
And he receives, his percentage of the profits every year goes to the Tirupati temple. So you're running a business a car business or something, so he's one of the directors of your business, Balaji.
Oh.
Legally written in there.
Yes.
Not like just a sentiment, a legal contract, which you mentioned earlier. And they are legally obligated. He receives that much according to how many shares he's got. All of the company's business profits every year. They get money like that. They got these huge, I suppose they got like massive kind of nets. You
Yes.
can't see through them. Bags, enormous bags. Like at Christmas, you have your sack at the end of the bed. I think we do that in France. When we were kids, we put a big sack at the end of our bed.
Yeah.
For Father Christmas to put his presents in. So they have these gigantic sacks, and people just throw money into the sack.
Yes. Yeah.
Even dress. People used to put their dress also
Yeah.
as offerings. Dress like golden.
Yeah, your golden ring,
Yeah.
all sorts of things.
And what's your name, dear?
Tayal Nayaki.
Yeah. Tanyeli. As you mentioned, all the people, when they came in front of Balaji, they forgot what they wanted to ask.
So when we come around the Sanctum Sanctorium, that is when we come out and there is one place in the Viman. It will be marked in. It is of course it is in golden, but there is one place in white silvery. There is
The
the
Viman.
same image of Balaji. So just before that, people used to stay and pray whatever they want, with the hope of everything, maybe materialistic or something, whatever they want, they ask there, standing. Because in front they don't allow also. Moreover, at the same time, I don't know if you were able to see just straight to Sri Balaji, there is Garudava. Were you able to?
Yeah, Garuda, yeah.
Yeah, people love it. I mean, especially children. They all shave their hair like
Oh,
kids.
yes.
They offer hair to the deity.
And ladies.
There is also there is a story for offering the hair. Started with that Balaji was hurt and he lost his hair.
Really?
So on seeing this, one devotee, I don't remember exactly to give the names. Let me collect and give next time. So here he offered his hand. On seeing Balaji without hair, he was so moved. So he offered his hair for Balaji. So this is what even today people just thought to please Balaji they actually.
And it's free. You don't have to pay for your hair cut.
Everybody, even ladies, they show their hair.
There are a lot of ladies with shaved head. And one devotee in Prabhupada time, she shaved her head like that. And Prabhupada says, Krishna doesn't like ugly gopis.
Both gopis.
Yeah, ugly gopis, he said. Yeah.
Yeah, normally ladies, we don't shave head according to. But in the case of Tirupati, with the sake of offering, there they don't see that as something for God.
So, thank you
You're
very much.
going to Tirupati.
Yes.
The day you have to go out in Paris. collect all the gold from the planet.
To bring for Balaji.
Expansion of Krishna. Full of Krishna. In fact, it's interesting. Anyway. I was just thinking of it's not Balaji, it's not, the first Krishna books. Remember those 2-volume Krishna books? The first Krishna book,
Yes.
2-volume, big Krishna book.
Oh yes, yeah.
Radha Krishna book. There's Natwar, isn't it, on the second one?
Yeah, Natwar.
I do, Prabhupada chose that.
Natwar was the Murti of Madhavendra Puri.
I can't remember all the stories. There's so many stories about Venkateshwara, Balaji, and their gurus, Neela, the consorts of Venkateshwara. Sri Sambhadar,
Yes.
after that temple. Very favorable to this one.
Yes.
Nishkan has a very large temple near the base of the path that goes up the hill. You stayed there.
We stay near. Yeah. Very nice temple.
Very nice.
That's such a big one. I've been to Tirupati's God temple also.
Oh, yeah?
Such a big temple. With all Ashtashakis.
Yes.
I haven't, this is how long ago since I've been there. I haven't been there since they opened the temple. For a long time. Didn't they build it in some kind of lotus or something? Isn't the temple in a kind of a
Lotus.
ISKCON temple? I thought they built it like, as if it's inside of a lotus or something. That's what they designed. I just say I haven't been there.
They have a lake
It was not
also.
open. Lake.
A pond, yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Bol.
Grace Mandakini Mataji.
Krishna Krishna.